Hello, welcome back to Big Fish Little Fish Aquatics. So today I just want to share with you my new Blue Dream shrimp aquarium. This aquarium has been set up for about a month now and the shrimp have settled in really well, so I think it's a perfect time to share with you how they're doing. Before we get into the video, just want to say a quick thank you to all my subscribers. We've now made it over 200 I believe, which is absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for subscribing and watching my videos, leaving comments and likes and things like that. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content, and I've got lots planned for 2021, so if you stick around hopefully you'll enjoy that too. So without further ado, let's take a look at the tank. So here's the Blue Dream shrimp aquarium. It's a it's between 14 and 15 US gallon aquarium. It's about 55.88 litres. It's a custom aquarium which was made by Aquatics. I'll leave a link to a video in the top right corner of when I originally got this rack of aquariums, which you can see here. And anyone who's been watching for a while will realise that this is actually my Zebra Pleco grow out aquarium. It's now been repurposed into a shrimp only aquarium. So they're currently in here. The tanks, they look deceiving. Yep, they look like they're a lot smaller than they are. They're actually 11 inches across in terms of width, but then it's the depth where they get their length from. So they've got really good surface area, so it's 31 inches back there. So yes, there's plenty of space, especially for some little shrimp in there. So the shrimp have been in this aquarium now for about just over a month. They've settled in really well. You can see a couple there just nibbling on some of the Java moss. So there's currently about 10 Blue Dream shrimp in here. There's two slight different morphs, so I've got about 4 sapphire Blue Dreams, and they're the darker, more opaque blue, and then I've got 6 more of your standard Blue Dreams, slightly more transparent, a bit more of a turquoise blue rather than a navy, which you get from the sapphire. They are actually really fun to watch, and it's probably hard to capture on the camera, so I'll try and get some clips in here and there of some of them and their behaviour. But I've always kept shrimp before in the past, but they've always been kind of like a secondary inhabitant in my aquariums, whereas having just shrimp only in this aquarium, I was a bit skeptical at first, thinking whether it was going to be enough to be a centerpiece creature, but they certainly are. They're really fun to watch. They zip around the aquarium all the time. They're very peaceful and they're very therapeutic to watch because they just get along. They're just constantly looking around the aquarium for little things to eat. Naturally they're detritus eaters, so they would normally eat things which are rotting at the bottom of a stream or a river wherever they live. And yeah, so as you can see here, there's a couple just on the heater there, and they're just milling around. Really great to watch. The filtration in this aquarium is, I believe it's Aqua One's smallest sponge filter range. I think it's called the 60, I can't remember, so apologies if I've got that wrong. I'll put a link in the description below of the specific appliances which I use in this aquarium. So it's a Aqua One sponge filter, just got an air stone on the other side just to help with circulation, as it's quite a long tank. The heaters from Fluval, it's one of their 50 watt heaters, and then we've got a few shrimp hides, and apologies, I don't know what the make is, but I'm sure you can pick up these from many fish shops or online. I'm sure you could find them. So they're just essentially tubes which the shrimp can hide in to get away from each other, or if you were keeping these with fish, obviously with fish after they've molted, so they're very vulnerable after a molt. Their bodies are very soft, and if you've kept crustaceans before, then you'll know that in order for them to grow they need to molt their shells, and once they have molted it takes a bit of time before their new shell is hardened, and will be able to protect them within reason from predators. So these guys, they'll get about 1 pellet every couple of days of crab cuisine. That's a Hikari's crab cuisine. I will be branching out into other foods over the next few months to try and find ones which they really like. They seem to really like crab cuisine. I'll pop one in a minute and just show you this really interesting thing. Obviously they're detritus, they're very adapted to sensing when food is around. That you can see here there's none around, and what I'll do is I'll just open the lid here and get one of the crab cuisine pellets, and I'll just pop that in. You see it sink down to the bottom, and at first I thought, well, it's going to take them ages to to come and get this pellet, but you'll see in a matter of time, and they'll just be swarming over here throughout this video. So the actual aquarium itself is at a general hardness of 6 degrees. Being a crustacean and shedding shells, they need decent calcium levels in their aquarium. Neocaridina, which is what these blue dreams are, can tolerate harder water than your other caridina and other types of shrimp, so I wouldn't recommend keeping all shrimp in the water parameters that I'm suggesting here. So this is 6 degrees in terms of general hardness. The carbonate hardness is 4 degrees and their pH is 7. And you can see here's one just floating around, and they're coming over. They know something's been put into the aquarium, so they're going to be tucking into this pellet real soon, and eventually all 10 will be down here. The temperature's at 23.5 degrees, quite cool, relatively cool compared to most tropical aquariums. They can thrive and survive in hotter temperatures. I personally keep them in cooler temperature, as this is a shrimp only aquarium and they do much prefer the temperature to be a little bit cooler than what you would deem as an average tropical aquarium. So as I mentioned earlier, there's about 10 of them in here. There's a mix of male and female, and in later videos we'll go over how you tell the difference between a male and female shrimp. And you can see here they've all started to collect now in the corner to get their little crab cuisine pellet. You can see the difference here now quite clearly between the sapphire blue dream and the standard. Sapphire is much darker, and you can't quite see the body as much as you can with a standard. And there's another sapphire there, so there's 4 sapphires, 6 standards, and yeah, so look how just happy they are, just darting around the aquarium and just picking up bits of food as and when they can. Just fantastic creatures to have, and if you haven't done it before, I highly recommend you consider having a shrimp only aquarium, because they're just amazing creatures to just watch. They're so relaxing. And if you want to know how I got the plants onto these ornaments, I've got a video using the Chem Flourish glue, so I'll put a link up in the top right hand corner for you to take a watch and peruse at your own leisure, should you wish to see that and try it out yourself. The shrimp love it. It's great for no substrate aquariums such as this one, because you just need to put plants in which don't require substrate, glue them to the ornaments, and away you go, bang, you get the benefits of a planted aquarium with no substrate. Just for me, in this particular aquarium itself, and well, with this rack of aquarium, should I say, I don't want substrate really in the aquariums. It just makes it that much more difficult to maintain water quality, and especially as they're so long, and you can see that underneath a shelf here. There's no way I'd be able to give this tank a proper good clean if I wasn't able to fully see exactly where the mess was. So these guys, they get a water change currently once a week. Take out 20% of the aquarium, and you've got to be careful with shrimp. They're quite sensitive. Again, Neocaridina, not so much as the other species of shrimp, but they are quite sensitive to change. When you add them to your aquarium, you've got to be careful that you acclimate them very slowly. You've got to make sure that your shrimp's bag, the TDS that they're in, total dissolved solid, sorry for anyone who isn't aware of that acronym, so TDS, of your shrimp's bag slowly matches the TDS in your aquarium, so it can take quite a while. There's various methods you can use, similar to in salt water when you're adding corals. You can do drip acclimation, and you can also just slowly add water to the bag, but it's recommended generally with shrimp to do drip acclimation, more so with Caridina, but Neocaridina I would also recommend it. Yeah, so that's the shrimp aquarium. Hopefully over the next few weeks, months, they'll start to form into a colony, and I'll keep you updated as to how that happens. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll see you in the next one.